I wasn't afraid of life. I was afraid of feeling my emotions. Hey, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mary, and this is The Inner Knowing, a channel where we realistically talk about what it's like to be a deep feeler, have intuitive inner knowings, and be sensitive in a world that's not always so kind. Somewhere along the way in my life, I learned that feelings aren't safe. My emotions aren't safe. And this happened over time through a bunch of different experiences, just simply being around people who didn't understand their own emotions or how to help me with mine. And I've always been someone who has a lot of feelings, like an overwhelming amount of feelings. So over time, these feelings became something that I was afraid of. So I would try to stuff them down and hold them in, and my body would start getting really tense, and I'd start sweating and getting really anxious. And then I didn't want people to know that I was feeling that way. So I would put on this like stoic, confident mask that was not realistic to what I was feeling whatsoever. But I didn't want everybody else to know that. So I would put on this mask, I would hide it from everybody else. And then I'd either one, build it up and just keep letting it build up until eventually I exploded at the worst time, in the worst way, in front of God and everyone, hurting people I cared about. Or I would go hide and be by myself and not tell anybody what I was feeling and get really dysregulated and really anxious and have just so many mental breakdowns. And so these these feelings, these emotions, right? Like they're human, they're natural, they're a part of me, but it's almost like I feel more than the average person. And I don't think that's the case. It's just my feelings are a lot bigger in my body. I feel them a lot more intensely. And I'm got really good at masking it, like scary good at masking what I was actually feeling. But once I got into like my adulthood and started living life, masking it wasn't working anymore. I was terrified of everything, every next turn. The anxiety wasn't just coming up and then it would go back down after whatever went away. It was just constantly there, especially in social situations. Like I just could like stockpile feelings because I'm like trying to present myself a certain way, and then they're piling onto each other, and then I'm panicking internally and I can't show anybody that, right? Yeah, ridiculous, but also what I do. So when I got into adulthood, all of this, like I was getting hit from every direction, right? There was no longer the safety of like, oh, my parents can handle it. Like, and granted, even when I was growing up, I didn't always have that safety. My household was rather chaotic a lot of the time. So it just kind of got to a point where like I couldn't handle it anymore. And everything that life threw at me scared the shit out of me. And it's not that I was afraid of life itself. I was afraid of what life would make me feel because I wasn't sure if I could handle feeling it. And some days, honestly, I'm still not sure. It gets it gets intense in life, you know? But I started learning how to be present with my emotions in the moment as they're coming up. And when I do get dysregulated by them, I've learned to take a pause, pull myself away, ground myself back down, allow myself to move those emotions through, and then continue what I'm doing. And this has been a game changer for me because now I still get dysregulated. I still feel things very big, but I have more control over when it comes up, how it comes up, and how I let it affect my life and my decisions. Because feelings, when they scare me, when I let that fear take over, that gives the feelings the power instead of me. Feelings are going to be there. It's a part of being alive, right? But creating space between you and the feeling gives you space to kind of be like, okay, this is really big right now. What do I need to do to calm it down? And then from that place, you can say, okay, is this reaction, is this feeling appropriate to what's happening? So I started learning about grounding and somatic work. So, working with how to calm my body down in different ways. And a really great example of where I get tied up a lot is in social situations. My brain just tends to, like, if one little mishap happens in a social situation, my brain spirals and it's like, oh my god, this person hates me, and like they think this about me and I think this about me, and then every traumatic interaction I've ever had comes tumbling on top of that, right? When it was just this one thing that happened that probably wasn't that big of a deal. It could have been a big deal, but I now know that I can move through that and I can stop the spiral. So in the moment when I'm having these interactions with people where maybe I did something awkward, I said something that probably came off rude, or, made human mistakes all over the place, I have little things that I can do that are very subtle, but they help bring me back to the moment. They help me pull myself back into my body and out of my brain. That doesn't mean my brain shuts up. That doesn't mean all the feelings go away. It just creates some space so I feel less dysregulated. And so one of these things is I'll take, especially if I'm like at a dinner or something where I have to be refined and I can't just start like beating on my body and calming myself down like I can with my really close friends. But I'll have my hand under the table in my lap and I just put my thumb and my forefinger together and I slowly rub them. And when you do that, you can start, if you focus on it, you can kind of feel the ridges of your fingertips rubbing against each other. And that's enough to kind of focus my brain into that. And every time my brain tries to go back to that place, I focus it to this. Or I focus on the color of my friend's eyes, or something that they're saying, or something in my body where I can like feel my ass on the seat and like the weight of my ass on that seat. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it's every time I notice my brain going, oh my God, this is happening. And I just bring it back to the present moment. I get in my body. And then once I'm there, I'm like, okay, can I lose like 5% of the tension I have right now? I'm not trying to get rid of it all, because I mean, that could take all night. I'm in a social situation. I'm scared. There are humans around me that could judge me. That's scary. But I'm going to be a little less scared if I just take a minute to breathe a little deeper and feel my ass on that seat. And then I come back to what someone's saying, and then maybe something else will trigger me and I start going into my head again and I'm like, oh God. And then I recognize that, focus back on something either in my body or outside in my vicinity, in the current environment. Because that initial feeling that came up, that awkward moment or me saying something stupid, easily remedied. Sometimes don't even need a remedy, right? But I still spiral into shit that happened in the past, and then I start identifying with the, oh, I'm awkward, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that, these people are going to see me this way, and it just starts compiling and compiling, and then I get dysregulated and you get that like brain fog fuzzy feeling, and then you start being like, I just need to go home. I need to go home because that's my safe place. But I don't have to be home to be in my safe place. I can be my safe place. When that feeling comes up, I feel anxiety. Cool. If you don't know that you're feeling anxiety, start questioning your feelings when they come up. Question them. What is this? Why is it here? What caused it? Okay. Simple questions. Then we're going to ground down. And as I'm grounding down in my head, I'm like, what layers can I take off of this mentally? What is just the one thing that created all of this chaos? Let's go back to that. Because that's really the only thing that's happening right now, is this one feeling. Not all of these other feelings on top. And if all of those other feelings are happening in that moment, you can let them be there and still relax around it. It's just a matter of getting my body relaxed around the fact that I'm feeling something. It's not taking the feelings away. It's not telling myself I'm wrong for feeling it. It's not trying to escape the feeling. It's accepting that the feeling's there, that I'm feeling it, that I'm judging something, that I'm uncomfortable. And then teaching my body and my nervous system that I can be safe and do that at the same time. Because that's human. Your feelings are human, but sometimes our nervous systems learn that that's not safe, that it's not safe to feel something, to show it, to to do all these things. And so instead of having these moments where it like piles up and comes bubbling out, now it's more of a like, and don't get me wrong, I still have those, but I have more control over when they happen, how they happen, who they happen with, right? And that's what I want, is a little bit more control and a little bit more freedom in my body, so that when I'm hanging out with people that I love, I'm not constantly feeling like this inner tightening happening that you can't see on the outside because I'm not going to show it to you, but I'm feeling it very intensely on the inside. Just a little space, that's all you need. And the more you practice it, the more space you get, the more your body recognizes, oh, I can be a little more free when I'm feeling something. And then eventually you get to a place where you can just click into that freedom. You don't even have to go through all of the steps, but you know how to do the steps when you get super triggered by something, because life is going to catch you off guard. But life is beautiful. Emotions are beautiful. I just had to learn that it's okay to feel them. If this is something that resonates with you, or you're into self awareness, woo woo shit, all of that stuff, this is the channel for you. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.